Happy Camper Radio.
It's the Happy Camper Radio Show. We're back at you again in the studio. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. And without question, we're going to make a happy camper out of you. Hello, Daniel.
Hey!
It's Memorial Day weekend.
It is.
And neither you or I are camping.
No, we're not.
But I tell you, the whole world is.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people out there camping, including my brother up in Ohio. He sent me some text messages and pictures. Yeah, I got a lot going on. The campground is jam-packed.
I bet.
I got a trip coming up here real shortly.
I know you do.
I'll talk about that as well on today's show. Hey, Daniel, I want to speak about what we're doing to make our campsite really livable. I'm not talking about the indoor of the RV. I'm talking about the outside. We'll talk about that on today's edition of Happy Camper Radio. Stick around for it.
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
And without question, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in any number of the podcast directories out there. How many are there, Daniel? There's got to be a dozen or two.
Oh, there's a bunch.
Yeah, but
it's
you know,
like
you can find Happy Camper Radio right there. Just plug it into the search engine, and that's where you go ahead and subscribe. Of course, we're on the web 24/7 at www.happycamperradio.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on X, and if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's
where you
the
need to
best
go.
place to be, right?
Yep.
Because you get to see Daniel and I do the show right here in the studio.
That's right.
And out on the road, too.
Yep,
You know,
sometimes.
sometimes we do get out there, and that's a highlight of this whole thing, Daniel. Yeah, when we're out there with my RV or the I don't want to say tent because I'm speaking in past terms now.
Yeah, I might have a tent. Who knows?
Yeah, well, yeah, you do have a tent for your backpacking, but you're not going to see me tagging along, I guarantee, right? Yeah, if I had to come along, Daniel, I'd be 10 miles back behind you.
That's all right.
Yeah, but hey, you know, I tell you, we've had a lot of fun, Daniel, this past year so far.
Yeah.
And we got a lot more camping trips coming up. A week from today, I'm back at Bald Ridge Creek Campground up on Lake Sidney Lanier, site number 45.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, right by the lake.
Yep.
And I will be up there for an entire week.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be a really, really wonderful time because I've been off these past few weeks here, but I'm actually spending time preparing for this next trip. Okay, now, Daniel, you know, I am a campsite type of guy.
You are. Very much so.
I'm not on the go.
I'm on the go.
You know, I may take Sadie out for a walk every now and then. You know, and that's a great opportunity to get out and stretch your legs and meet some folks. But, you know, the Memorial Day weekend will be long gone by the time I get up there, and there'll probably be quite a few campsites that will be available.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I went ahead and I booked this several months ago because I wanted to make sure that site was available, and it probably will not be the last time that I'll be visiting the Bald Ridge Creek Campground this season.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking about maybe September or October because since the Army Corps of Engineers handed that responsibility over to the Forsyth County Department of Parks and Recreation, they seem to have extended it into October, where I think last year was, you know, mid-September they cut it off, and that was the end of the season. But, you know, hey, if it offers more camping opportunities, hey, I'm all for that.
Fall camping, that's our favorite camping.
Yeah. Now, I just got back from the campsite up there in South Carolina. Okay, that was the Springfield campground that I stayed at. And, Daniel, that was beautiful. Okay, except for some lousy weather, which we talked about on last week's program.
Yep.
All right, but I had the opportunity when the weather was nice to actually sit out there by the lake. And I mean, I was by the lake with this particular campsite. And it's another one I've marked down on my calendar and my little address book, or if you want to, whatever you want to call it. So I know that that's where I want to go and reserve next year.
All right.
Okay. But, you know, as we talked about several times, you don't know what the weather is going to hold for you. Again, sometimes it's going to be bad. Sometimes it's going to be good. And having an RV, you just make the best of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's not like the tents, you know, where you just throw everything in the back and head on home in total disgust.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, what really disturbs me, Daniel, and I'm thinking back in my days and with some of the bad luck that I've had in the past, when I go to these campgrounds and it's raining when I get there, a lot of times the attendant at the gate will tell me, we had some tent campers that canceled because of the rain. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really is, because I know they're out there looking forward to camping just like I am. Okay, and when you're really looking forward to it, and you have Mother Nature dump her worst upon you, then you're just out of luck.
Yep.
Okay. But on the show today, Daniel, we talk often, at least we have for the past couple of years, is I was preparing my RV to be what I want to call livable while I am away. Now, everybody has their taste. Now, if you got a husband and wife team out there with a camper like I have, which is the 200 MK, you got room in there for 2 people, but, you got to have to come to terms as to how you want to decorate on the inside.
Yep.
Now, I knew right from the very beginning when I bought that RV what I had in mind. And I got a lot of canvas art in there.
You do.
But I decided what I was going to do. I was going to decorate the inside of my RV with the white-tailed deer theme. Okay, and it looks beautiful.
Yep.
It's exactly what I want. And I have room for a couple more pictures. But, I do that, Daniel, because this is the place that I will retire to in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Is the place that I will be when the weather is bad. And I want it to look the absolute best. I want to be comfortable in there. Okay, so, you're going to decorate it any which way you feel is going to make you kind of feel at home, so to speak.
Some people gut them completely, and, they'll redo the whole thing, paint stuff, and, it'll look like a cabin. I mean, like, campers, they don't have the greatest aesthetics sometimes, especially like the ones from back in the early 2000s and 90s. They're very dated looking. A lot of people like to spruce them up and make them look more modern.
Now, do you have any type of theme inside your pop-up? I know you don't have walls in there except canvas, when the thing opens up, but do you have anything in there to
really.
make it really feel homey to you?
Our RV up in Talking Rock, where we went a while ago, my mom was obsessed with apples because it's near Ellijay, Georgia, and Ellijay is the apple capital of Georgia. So we had apple everything all over the place. It was just crazy. It was like a museum or something. But yeah.
Well, for the past 2 to 3 years that that I've had the RV, I spent a lot of time outside.
Yep.
When the sun is beating down, it's really great to have that awning. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Especially right about noontime when the sun is really beating down. I can tolerate the warm temperatures. I always make sure that I've got a nice cold bucket of water for Sadie, and I always carry bottled water with me. So, I want to make sure that, she is well refreshed. I make sure that I'm well refreshed when I'm out there. But, I really never stop to think about what am I doing to decorate the outside of my RV, especially in the evening hours. Because even for to-go people like you and Deidre, you're going to spend the evening hours around your pop-up camper.
Oh, yeah, we got our owl lights that we always hang up, and
that's what I wanted to talk about, Daniel. Your owl lights, I love those.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can put them over top of your awning, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now in my particular case, the way my RV was designed, that's going to be an impossible task.
Well, you'd have to take them down every time you put down the, canopy.
Not only that, but, the height of my RV, it's a high-profile RV.
You'd have to get on a ladder.
I would have to get on a ladder, and I'm not going to carry a ladder with me.
Yeah.
Okay? So, if I want to really admire some hanging lights, I'll just look over next to you. Okay? But, those owl lights are really,
I love them.
really great. Now, if I were to be bringing my canopy, my pop-up canopy that I put over top of the picnic table, and I don't bring that with me all the time, Daniel, because, if I'm camping by myself, that's just extra work.
Yep.
All right? Chances are I'm going to be indoors eating, or I'm going to be eating outside on my patio, and I'm not going to need that. Okay, but if I had, like when we were down in Florida, I had you and Deidre there. Yes, I brought mine along because I knew we were going to be dining out at my campsite. And we had a terrific steak dinner. I put the bucket light up inside the canopy because they didn't have any hanging lantern poles out there.
Yeah.
So it was a great place, and I had a long extension cord. It offered really nice lighting. Okay, but if I were to bring that along, owl lights would look real good all the way around that 8x8 perimeter.
Well, when I go camping, we haven't gotten one yet, but I like the ones that have the screen doors because sometimes in the summer months and something, the bugs can be, out of control.
Bugs will drive you crazy this time of the year, especially here in the South.
When you're in a canopy that has the, net on the side or whatever, it's a lot better because it gets you away from the bugs. And then all you have to worry about is the heat. So you just bring a fan, and then it's fine.
And I do see some folks out there, Daniel, that have those type of canopies that are screened in. And I understand that's probably why they buy them in the first place, because you don't want bugs and flies and ants and everything crawling all over your food.
Now, I have seen some. I don't know if it'd work with yours, but I have seen some it'll attach to an awning of a trailer, and it's like almost another room. I know they have a screen one. They have one that has like more substantial walls on it, and so that makes the campground seem a lot bigger. But the only problem is, like, I know with awnings on your RV and stuff, like when it starts getting windy, you gotta bring it in. So I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, now some of those fold-up ones that pop together, like the last tent that I had, is one of those instant tents. I don't put a whole lot of faith in those because they pop up and close once or twice. And then you got to struggle, and then you got bent poles, and you got all that. And I see that happening too with those type of canopies that we're talking about right now that folks put up, for dining purposes. Okay, so if they work for you, great. If not, hey, whatever. But if I were to bring my canopy again to put up over the picnic table, I'm gonna have to do some shopping for some lights.
Oh yeah.
Okay? But then again, Daniel. I am now going to be lighting up my campground because even though I've not been camping here these past few weeks, I have been very busy. And I have put together some beautiful bucket lights. Now, I spotted these here about a year ago, and I kind of forgot about them until I went to the Grand Design Rally in Myrtle Beach. There were some folks that were camped a few doors down from me that had some. They had about 3 5-gallon buckets, and they had about two or three 2.5-gallon buckets.
Yeah.
But they went ahead and they had them all spread out there around their campsite, and they were lit up, and it was nighttime, and my brother and I were out taking a walk, and Sadie was taking a walk, and it just got dark, and I glanced over and I spotted them, and I says, wow, I've got to start making some of these.
Yeah, we saw some when we were down in Florida camping too. We saw like a Disney one. I know you have like a camping theme, but this had like a Disney theme, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so I've been busy probably for about the past month with these here, working with them on and off, and they're not hard to make at all.
Yeah.
You can go on YouTube. YouTube, you can find just about anybody that makes something, and all you got to do is put in bucket lights, and here they go. Wow. It tells you, where you can get the buckets at, where you can get the decals at, and where you can get the little puck lights that go inside there.
Yep.
So, I went ahead and I did my research online, and I went ahead and I decided which ones I was going to, the decals I'm talking about, which ones I was going to get, and I slapped them on side of the bucket, and wow. The only thing you got to remember, too, is if you're going to get the buckets from places like Home Depot, make sure that you get the easy on and off lids. Yeah. Because they make the real difficult ones that go on and off. And and you're going to be going in and out of there.
Too. You don't want an orange one.
Yeah, you're going to go in there. You're going to make sure that that you want to have access to those batteries because you're going to get about 3 hours of battery life.
Yeah.
Okay, before it goes out. Now I made 5 of them. Okay, so that's going to be making my campsite up there on Lake Lanier look really, really nice. They take 3 batteries per piece or per bucket now.
Right.
We're talking about 15 batteries.
Yeah.
I figured if I'm going to be up there for a week, Daniel, I better get some rechargeables.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, I went on Amazon, and I went ahead and bought some rechargeable batteries. I've got 2 battery chargers coming in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I've got more than enough batteries now.
Can you put them on timers? Does that have a timer system? No. I know some things have timer systems.
Yeah, they do. They do have a little remote control, and you can change so they're solid lights. Yeah, they can go flashing on and off, or they can fade, which I like.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna be looking really, really nice around my campground. Around my campsite. So Daniel, I have had so much fun. Like I've talked about, I've had so much fun putting them together, okay?
Yeah.
I just could not resist making a custom one here.
Aha! Wow.
For the co-host of Happy Camper Radio,
look at that.
and his wife Deidre. I had to actually send off for a decal and had it custom made for you.
She's
and it's got the light.
That.
It's got the light inside it. And
that's not a pop-up though, Skip. Come on now.
Well, I expect when you're parked next to me, I want to see that bucket on there. Okay?
That's nice. Wow, that's cool.
Knowing you the way you are, I make sure I put a extra set of batteries in there for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and put that away just for the moment there. But
Cool.
yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Now, I went ahead, Daniel, and I also got a rope light.
Okay.
I've got 100-foot section of rope light.
Oh, okay.
A blue, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and take video of that when I get up on Lake Lanier, and I'm going to show that off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I decided that, for a guy like myself, and really during the summer months, Daniel, I build a campfire.
Right.
Okay. One, because it's too hot. Second of all, I'm already carrying more than enough stuff with me.
Yeah.
Okay. And remember, we got to purchase our firewood locally and burn it on
they
site.
usually have it at the campsites or grocery store nearby or something.
Yeah, you can get a small stack. A lot of the campgrounds do carry them, not all.
Yeah.
Okay, but you get a small stack of wood for about $7. Which, for the size of the stack, that's a lot of money. Okay, because
you
the
can do
fire's
like I
not
used
going
to do and just go out into the woods and start foraging. That's what,
well,
that's what we used to do.
the fire's not going to last all that long with that little supply of wood. And you can really dig into your camping budget by buying a lot of firewood.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't burn much by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and especially during the summer months when it's too hot.
Yeah.
Now I do see a lot of folks when I'm camping, they do have campfires.
Yeah.
And and campfires are just like your lights
Yep.
that you bring out. You're not trying to make your campground or make your campsite look like Christmas.
Right.
You're trying to accent it.
You're right.
Okay, and that's what things like your owl lights with these bucket lights. That's what they do.
I know sometimes people they'll have like a propane fire like in a little cylinder and stuff, and if they wanted to make like s'mores or hot dogs or whatever, they'll use something like that, and they won't have to worry about wood so much.
Mhm.
I think Jody and Heidi had something like that at their site that they were.
I know
they had
what
a
you're
little
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a little fire thing.
Mhm.
They get excited when I say their name, so there you go.
Well, when you've got some folks around and you're up for some good conversation, that's when you really want to have a good campfire. Okay,
And it helps with the bugs too.
Yeah,
And it helps with I think like rats and squirrels, or not squirrels, but like raccoons and stuff. They're not too fond of the fire, so you don't want them coming after you when you're in the middle of just hanging out and they're trying to get stuff.
yeah, but up until now, when I was sitting outside, weather permitting, at nighttime, you can only see so much out there on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, outside of that, you're going to be out there in pitch dark. Okay, unless you have some lanterns, and small lanterns, they really do help accent your campsite as well. Some folks bring tiki torches.
Oh yeah,
I love those. Okay.
yeah, and they have the citronella in them, so that's good for the mosquitoes.
And the
too.
citronella will last you a good long time too.
Oh yeah,
Okay. When I was primitive camping, I carried about 6 of those with me.
yeah.
But I haven't gotten back into that since I got into the RV lifestyle.
Yeah, I remember when we'd come over to your house when you were at the other house, and we'd have a cookout outside. You had them out and stuff. But something else I was going to tell you. So long time ago, when me and Deidre went down to Disney World, evidently I've never seen this anywhere else but at the campground in Disney World. They have a bunch of inflatables, like camping inflatables, like. We'd always go around October, so they had a lot of Halloween inflatables, but they also had like campsite inflatables, like a Mickey, with a campfire or something. So that's pretty interesting.
You're
They
not
like to
you're
do
not
it up.
talking about tents that float on the water, are you?
No, I'm talking about inflatables, like for holidays. How
Oh,
people
okay.
put the inflatables in front of their yard,
Mm-hmm.
but these people put it up at their campground, and it's crazy. It's something else. I've never seen anything so crazy.
Yeah.
They
Well,
do it up.
I'll tell you, just about anybody that has an RV is going to have some sort of carpeting or some sort of a
Outdoor
platform
carpet, yep.
outside of their RV, because you can very easily drag dirt
Oh yeah.
inside your RV. Now, case in point, when I was up at the Springfield campground here a few weeks ago. Even though this was a beautiful site, the material that was on the ground, I don't want to call it gravel and I don't want to call it sand, but it was very, very similar to sand.
Okay.
All right. And if you can drag that stuff into the RV very, very quickly. Now, I do have, I have I don't want to call it a carpet, but I went on Amazon right after I bought my RV and I found something that I could put down, and it really matched the color scheme of my RV, which is really beautiful. And that's where I have all my camping chairs and my little table and everything. The problem is I've got my little four-legged friend with me.
You do.
And if there's going to be somebody, if there's going to be somebody to drag sand or dirt inside your RV, it's going to be her.
Yep.
And it doesn't just land on the floor because she's a bed dog too.
She gets in the bed, she gets on the couch, she gets everywhere.
So I'm saying that when I got back from that trip, I really had a lot of cleaning inside the RV to do. But I was in there with a small broom sweeping about 3 times a day.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Even though I was brushing my feet off before I got inside the RV. So whatever the case may be, whether if you got a landing pad out there of some sort of concrete, or you've got one like you have up there on up at the Smithfield campground, you want to have some sort of a carpet to put. I've seen all kind of decorative type of carpeting down there too. So whatever suits your taste buds, that's what you're going to want to have. When I went camping last year, and this is where I get a lot of ideas, Daniel, and just like anybody else, you see what other folks are doing. Some things you look at and say, no, that's not me. Okay, and you look at somebody else and say, why didn't I think of that?
I was thinking, I don't see it as much anymore, but I remember back when I was a kid, people would have those bug zappers, and I'd be just amazed at, watching them and watching the big old bugs get electrocuted at night. That was kind of fun to see. Yeah. I don't see that as much anymore.
Well, I was at another campground last year up on Lake Lanier, and I had this elderly couple that was camping right next to me, and that's where I got the idea of the bucket light to hang from the pedestal where you'd normally hang a lantern.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, that's something that's got to be easy to make, and it really was.
Yeah.
So I had a spare white bucket, and I went ahead and I constructed one, and it gives you a great accent.
Oh yeah.
For your campground. Now there was another campground I went to, and I don't remember where this one was at. But I had another couple with a big motor home, and they had a towable vehicle behind them. And, really nice couple. We really enjoyed talking with these folks. But the lady of the house, she had a green thumb.
Okay.
All right. With those big RVs and with the big motor homes, they got these huge storage compartments underneath.
Yeah.
Okay. She was bringing plants. She had plants. I'm talking waterable plants, live plants.
Okay.
And she had the outside of her RV decorated with those plants.
Wow.
Okay. Now, I won't go that far. I won't go that far, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's interesting.
You're making your RV as livable as you possibly can, whether you're inside or you're outside. Okay. So, that's one of the things that, if you're going to go camping, folks, and you go camping for a reason. You go there to enjoy, you go there to relax. You visit other people, and you hang out at your individual campsite.
Or you go like me and Deidre.
Yeah, but there's going to come a time, Daniel, that you will want to settle down. Okay,
I don't know.
It may not be tomorrow. It may not be 10 years from now. But, the good news is you do come back every night to check in. All right? And if you're camping with me, you got a good hot meal waiting for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and, beyond that, until morning time, hang out at your campsite, hang out at the campground, and just make it as livable as you possibly can. Okay, so I've been working on this, and it's amazing that even after 2.5, 3 years of having this RV, that I'm able to do the things that I'm doing, and I'm trying not to do too much of it. And again, like Daniel, I'm not trying to decorate like Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, like I do this house.
Right.
At Christmas time, I go all out.
Right.
But, you got to keep in mind that, whatever you're doing, you got to make sure that you're not overloading your RV with things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, everyone has their certain style, and it just makes it more comfortable. It just makes I don't know. It's like it boosts your mood or something. It's the ambiance. You like the ambiance, the feng shui.
Yeah. And something else that I learned from this camping trip too, Daniel, I didn't know that they made these, I don't want to call them trash cans, but we'll call them just that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But they're pop-ups.
I saw that, yeah.
All right. I got a couple of those.
Yep.
I found them on Amazon because I saw somebody had one, but I found something that I thought was even better. So I got two of them, one for recyclables.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I only bring bottled water with me. All right, for drinking, for doing dishes in the shower, I'll use the campground water. But, I've got Sadie here. Her dishes get filled up with bottled water.
Yeah.
I'm going to be drinking bottled water. And you don't want to be putting your plastic recyclables in with the campground trash.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of folks do that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple campgrounds I've been to, and I was really surprised that they did have a bin for recyclables.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but most of them do not.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'm one that I carry garbage bags with me, and I always put the recyclables in there, and I brought them on home. But now I've got these big 30-gallon
that's
totes.
smart.
Yeah, and I can keep them on the outside, and, you look at them, and they've got the labels. One says trash, one says recyclables, okay, and I can put them up right there.
Is it hard to get into? Like, would raccoons or something, would it be hard for them to get into?
No. Mm-mm.
So it'd be good to have it outside.
You can actually zip up the top.
Okay,
Yeah.
Because you don't want the trash to just be out there because you don't know what kind of pests and stuff.
What I've been doing up until now, I've gotten these 18-gallon tall kitchen bags.
Yeah.
Okay, and putting all my recycles out there, and I've just been dumping that bag right outside the door. Now, that's not a sightly thing to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, but now that I've got these cans here, I'll have them up and
well, speaking of that, like, we don't really have any decorations in our pop-up, but what we do is, so we have like a queen. It's either a queen or a king side of the pop-up, and then I think it's like a double on the other side. So on the other side, the double side, we put these like storage drawers, and I'll have 3 for me, and there'll be 3 for her, and so that's like a little thing. Instead of just having a suitcase that you're just working out of, we do that. And also another thing, I just remember this. We put these reflecting pads on top of our queen side and our other side because, like, during the winter they have one side where it keeps the heat in, and then during the summer it reflects the heat off. So it makes a big difference because we have an air conditioner and everything, but it still gets pretty hot. But like that air conditioner is going at all times. But when you turn that thing off, it gets really hot. But I mean, the good thing about it is, like, if it's not too hot, you can just unzip everything, and it's almost like a screened in tent almost. So
yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah,
I love it.
I'm glad you do. Daniels, right now it's time for our featured campground of the week, and that's right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
All right, Daniel, we're going to go up to the state of Indiana.
I was just there not too long ago.
Well, it might be Indiana. No, well, I'll take that back. I think it's Kentucky.
Oh.
Kentucky, yeah.
Well, we went through there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is saying it's near Hellentonville, Indiana. But,
Okay.
I'll tell you what, when I was searching for a campground to feature on the program this week, Daniel, I had to think about Kentucky because that's not too far from Georgia.
No.
And I just might want to venture up there myself someday.
Lot
We're
of
going to
hills.
take you to the Hardin Ridge Campground. It's part of the Hoosier National Forest. The Hardin Ridge Campground is a 1,200-acre recreational complex located on the shores of Monroe Reservoir in the Hoosier National Forest. I love that word. The complex
They do
includes 6 shady campgrounds, and the campground loops, that is, 2 picnic areas with shelter, and 2 rental cabins. There's a whole lot of information right there on the website, and I'm going to have a link to it all week long on happycamperradio.com. Daniel, there are 197 campsites at Hardin Ridge, 36 of which are walk-in tent-only sites, with the exception of the Eads and Southern Point Loop campsites. The areas have electrical hookups, which about half the sites do. They have walk-ins. The walk-ins do not have electric. Okay, but they get centralized water, flush toilets, showers are provided. Big campground, a lot of opportunities there, and wow, Daniel, look at the lakeside view. When you click on the link that I have right here on the featured campground, you'll see it. Yeah, you want to go swimming up there, they got a swimming area, big lake.
Memorial Days, that's the time to swim. That's when all the pools open.
Yeah, and that's why we're not there, right?
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy.
Yeah, but I'll have a whole lot of information as well as a link to this site on happycamperradio.com. Make sure you read the know before you go. That's a tongue twister.
Need to know before you go.
And by all means, buy your firewood locally and burn it on site. For more information,
like I do.
more information, visit don'tmovefirewood.org. Link to that also on Happy Camper Radio. But hey, if you're up in that area, whether it be Indiana, state of Kentucky, all right, I think that might be a typo. But anyway, look it up here. Look it up here. It's the Hardin Ridge Campground. And it is our featured campground of the week right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel. HappyCamperRadio.com.
And if you have a campground you'd like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at HappyCamperRadio.com, or the guy right here in front of me.
Hey, it's Daniel at HappyCamperRadio.com.
And be sure to include a link to the campground website. And that's going to wrap up today's edition of the Happy Camper Radio Show. If you're having a great Memorial Day weekend out there, if you got an extended weekend like Daniel does,
yes,
yeah.
But I'm going to have to, it's going to hurt when I come back.
Take absolute advantage of it. Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly as I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. We're on the web 24/7 at www.happycamperradio.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on X, and by all means, watch us on our YouTube channel where you can subscribe. Yeah, click on the little red box right down there with the pup tent in it. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper.
Hey!
And you better believe it, friends, we're going to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. This is Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.